The first thing I noticed was the silence. Not the normal kind, not the quiet of a peaceful winter night. This silence felt watchful. I was halfway down the empty road when the snowfall started getting heavier. Thick flakes drifted past streetlights like ash. My boots crunched against fresh snow. The only sound for miles. The town of Millridge shuts down early in winter. By 9 p.m., the streets are empty. That night, it was just me. I pulled my jacket tighter and kept walking toward my apartment building, 3 blocks away. My footsteps echoed behind me. Then I heard another set of footsteps. I stopped walking. The second sound stopped too. I slowly turned around. The road stretched empty behind me, coated in white snow, illuminated by flickering street light. No one there. I exhaled a nervous laugh. Paranoia, I muttered. I kept walking. Then again, footstep behind me. My stomach tightened. I turned again, still nothing. But something had changed. Footprints. The second line of footprints appeared behind mine. Fresh ones following. My pulse hammered. Maybe someone had been walking behind me earlier. Maybe I hadn't noticed. Yeah, that had to be it. I kept walking faster. The other footsteps followed. Not faster, not slower, perfectly matching my pace. I whipped around empty road, but the footprints were closer now. My breath fogged in the air. I started running. Behind me, the footsteps ran too. I sprinted the final block toward my apartment building. The lobby lights glowed like safety in the distance. I burst through the door and slammed it shut. Silence. I leaned against the door, panting. After a moment, curiosity crept in. I opened the door slightly and looked outside. The snow covered street was empty, but the footprints stopped right outside the door, and mine continued inside. My stomach dropped. I slowly turned around. Wet footprints were forming on the lobby floor, leading deeper into the hallway, following me, but no one was there. The footprints moved slowly down the hall, toward the stairwell, toward my apartment. Something unseen had followed me home. I backed away. The footsteps continued. Up the stairs, 3 steps. So I ran to the exit and burst back outside. I didn't stop running until I reached the police station. The officers searched the building. They found nothing. No intruder, no explanation. But the next morning, when I returned to my apartment, the snow had stopped. And in the fresh snow outside my window, there were footprints, standing still, facing my window for hours, watching. I shouldn't have been driving that night. The snowstorm warning had been everywhere. But my sister needed help moving furniture, and I promised I do come. Now I was stuck on a rural highway with visibility barely 10 feet. Snow slammed against my windshield. The road was almost invisible. Then my headlights caught something ahead, a figure standing in the middle of the road. I slammed the brakes. The car skidded but stopped just short of hitting him. The man didn't move. He stood there, head slightly tilted. I rolled down the window. Hey, you okay? No response. Snow piled on his shoulders, but he didn't react. Something about him felt wrong. Too still, I stepped out of the car. Sir, he turned slowly. His face was pale. Not just pale, grey, like frozen meat. Then he smiled. It stretched too wide. Every instinct screamed, get back in the car. I stepped backward. The man took a step toward me. He took one step and then another step. Stay back, I shouted. He kept walking, slow, unnatural. I jumped into my car and locked the doors. The man approached the driver window. Snow blew around him violently. He leaned down and stared through the glass. His breath didn't fog the window. He raised a hand and knocked. 3 sets of knock. His knuckles made a dull, hollow sound, like hitting wood. I started the engine. The tires spun in the snow. The man kept staring, smiling. The car finally lurched forward. I drove fast through the storm. After 10 minutes, I dared glance in the rearview mirror. The road behind me was empty. Relief washed over me. Then something tapped my window. A knock. I froze. The man was standing outside the passenger door, still smiling, still knocking. But we were moving. The car was going 50 miles an hour, and he was keeping up, running beside the car. His feet never slipped, never slowed. Three knocks. I screamed and slammed the accelerator. The speedometer hit 70, then 80. The man slowly fell behind. His figure disappeared into the white storm. I drove until I reached my sister's house. When I told her what happened, she laughed nervously. Probably a hitchhiker, she said. But later that night, when the storm cleared, we found footprints outside her house. One set, circling the entire property for hours, waiting. My grandfather gave me one rule when I was a kid. If you are walking alone in the snow at night and you hear footsteps behind you, he paused. Don't look back. Of course, I asked why. He never answered. Years later, I understood. I was hiking home from a friend's cabin through the forest trail. The snowfall was heavy, the path barely visible. My flashlight cut through the dark trees. My footsteps echoed through the woods. Then I heard another set behind me. I stopped. The sound stopped too. My grandfather's words surfaced in my mind. Don't look back. I laughed quietly. I'm too old for ghost stories. I started walking again. I heard footsteps behind me, matching my steps perfectly. My pulse quickened. I walked faster. The footsteps matched me, closer. Every instinct begged me to turn around. But something deeper whispered, don't look. I kept walking. The trail felt longer than usual. The woods darker, the footsteps louder. Then something whispered behind me. My name, soft, right next to my ear. Daniel. My blood froze. I almost turned, but I kept walking. Then the voice came again, closer. Daniel, look at me. The footsteps stopped, right behind me. So close, I could feel breath on my neck. The forest went silent. Then the voice changed. It sounded like my mother. Danny, please look back. Tears filled my eyes. My mom had died 10 years ago. I almost turned, but I remembered my grandfather. Don't look back. I ran. Branches whipped past. Snow exploded under my boots. Behind me, something chased. Fast. The footsteps multiplied. Many. Surrounding me. Voices screamed, look back. I burst out of the forest onto the road near my house. The voices stopped instantly. The footsteps vanished. I slowly turned around. The forest stood silent, empty, snow falling softly. I thought it was over until I saw the tracks. Hundreds of footprints in the snow behind me, but they stopped at the edge of the forest. No one crossed the road except one. One set of footprints standing directly behind where I had been seconds earlier, facing me, waiting for me to look.